Alright, so with the NHL draft and free agency upcoming, the Vancouver Canucks have themselves a very busy summer. Lots needs to get done. Particularly, I'm talking about the forward core, and a couple of videos ago we talked about Marco Rossi as a potential suitor for the Vancouver Canucks second line center hole. But in addition to that, the Canucks also need a top line winger, and there's been a ton of names floating around. A couple of names that the Canucks have been linked to help them bolster up their forward core, and if they get the opportunity to take one of these players, then they absolutely should. I have 3 potential candidates in this video that I wanted to talk about. None of them are free agents, so no Nikolai Ehlers, no Mitch Marners, obviously. You'll have to go the trading route. They're all good players, but each having their own unique pros and cons to them, which is pretty interesting. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. But before we get to that, quick word from our sponsor. If you want real protein that tastes good, has real ingredients, plant-based and gluten-free, then you have to check out Midday Squares. It's great on the go whenever I'm on the grind. You feel great after eating it, and there's a ton of good flavors like cookie dough, peanut butter, almond crunch, and brownie. Check it out with the link in my description down below, and if you click that link, you will get 15% off your final order at the checkout. Midday Squares, check it out. But with that, let's talk about our first player on this list. And look, if I'm the Canucks right now, this guy is at the top of my priority list for a winger. It's 23-year-old German winger JJ Purka of the Buffalo Sabres. He was originally drafted in 2020, 34th overall, so he fell a little bit, but he was an absolute steal now looking back on that draft. He's developed really well at the NHL level, 50 points in 82 games last year, and this year taking the jump to the next level, getting 68 points in 77 games. Still has yet to hit his ceiling, a very good playmaker. Apparently doesn't like the direction that the Buffalo Sabres are going right now. They don't really have a direction, so it kind of makes sense that he'd want out. And as an RFA that needs a contract, he could be a prime candidate for an offer sheet or just a player to trade the rights for and then sign directly after that. Purka will be one of the most sought after players in this league if he does become available, so it will be tough to get him, but if you get the opportunity to do so, I think it's very worth it with all things considered. So JJ Purka is the first player on this list. Now moving on to the second player, Jason Robertson. Crazy to even think that a previous 100-point scorer could potentially be available this offseason, but the Dallas Stars are in a massive cap crunch right now. Obviously, you have that Rantanen extension kicking in next year at $12 million, and if you want any shot at re-signing guys like Granlund and Duchesne, then it might be a guy like Robertson on the way out, who's on a pretty good team-friendly deal right now, just under $8 million, and once that ends, he's going to want a ton of money in a raise. So I can see the perspective as to why Dallas would want to move on from him, clear some space for the guys in free agency, and then also just get some assets for him right now. He could fit very well with Pettersson on that first line, and I've also seen Marchman's name as a potential Dallas trade option, so that would definitely be a cheaper option, more of like a cap dump move for the Dallas Stars perspective. And Marchman is still a very good power forward. Physically, he can help the team out, and he can chip in offensively. Let me know who you'd prefer out of those 2 Dallas players on the Vancouver Canucks. But moving on up to our last player on this list, a familiar face, Jared McCann. So yeah, the Vancouver Canucks drafted Jared McCann in the 2014 NHL entry draft. Let him go way too early. Never should have traded him away because he blossomed into a pretty good top 6 forward with the Seattle Kraken. He even reached 40 goals one season, and ever since then has turned into a pretty consistent top 6 scorer. Definitely at the price he's being paid, $5 million. It's a very good contract. I don't know what the price is to acquire a guy like Jared McCann, but let me know who you think we'd have to give up to acquire a player of this caliber. He is probably the weakest of the players on this list, but still a good player nonetheless, and a sniper that we desperately need on our front end. So for the right price, I would definitely like to have Jared McCann back. With all things considered of what we'd have to give up, cap-wise, salary, the future, who do you think of these 3 players would be the best fit on the Vancouver Canucks? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be sure to catch you in the next one. Subscribe if you're new, become a channel member. Peace out, and take care.